Dicko, mate,
Dizz, how are you, mate?
very, very good. We have plenty to talk about today. We're going to get stuck straight into it. Thanks for everyone tuning in, mate. Let's go. Let's go into the sin bin farce. Let's straight away. Let's.
Do we have anything positive to talk about today?
We got plenty of positives.
This is the
Wait till
thing.
the preview.
All right.
Upsets galore. No, they're not working for me. I tell you that much. I am slipping that badly in the tips. It's not funny.
I had a good round, really good. The Titans again. Every time I tip them, they let me down.
Was that the one that cost you?
That was the one that cost me. Perfect
Oh,
round.
gee whiz. Oh well, you're in the sniff.
I am. I'm
You're
close.
right in the hunt. Yeah, sin bins, mate. Look, the Dolphins Roosters. I don't know what everyone else's thoughts are on this one, but I know we certainly have an opinion and a strong one on most topics. But look, from my perspective, way over the top, and ruined what was supposed to be the game of the round. Now, Dolphins have a bit to answer for because they obviously got belted.
Yep.
But I would argue that if those sin bins don't happen, it's a completely different game. And, yeah, definitely not a scoreline that blown out. What do you think?
Well, what was the overreaction of the sin binnings? I mean, we had 11 on 11. I mean, come on. Seriously, we're not soccer. You know, like,
Yeah, and it wasn't like it was
no one threw a punch.
It was
I
just
don't,
handbag
I don't understand
after a try.
I don't understand. Firstly, what I will say is I don't understand why they sin bin 4 players. Well,
Yeah.
I understand why any Dolphins player got sin bin, considering they conceded a try. They're standing behind the in-goal area, and a Roosters player
It was
comes
Jared
up.
Sutton, wasn't it?
Yeah, Roosters player comes up. There's a bit of verbal, and then they sort of squared up. But it was a bit harmless in the end. There was nothing actually. We seem to just overreact on everything. We're literally overreacting on everything. If he sits back and he goes, look, I sin bin 4 players to calm him down. 10 minutes on the sidelines, a big price to play just to calm a player down. Like, come on.
And 2 from each side.
2 from each side. I believe if you were going to sin bin somebody, it's Lean you had to go to the sin bin because he was the one who started the whole thing. Like, the Titans players didn't even, it's not the Titans, the Dolphins players didn't even do anything.
Well, he created a new rule, didn't he? It was no longer third man in. It was third, fourth, fifth, and sixth.
Well, that's right. And the Dolphins players were literally behind the line, to which Linu ran past them intentionally to create a bit of verbal. There wasn't even any push and shove until they squared up to each other. But again, no punch was thrown. So
Well,
I
he could have
thought,
sin bin basically the whole squad of each side because in the end it ended up being everyone in there.
that's right. I just thought it was a massive overreaction, preventing. What was he preventing?
He obviously was trying to calm down the situation, but he actually ruined the match by doing it.
But he was never going to calm down the situation because off the next kickoff, Kurt Donahue puts one of the shots of the season on Siwa Wong, and it was an accidental head clash, which happens.
Yep.
I didn't see anything wrong with it. There was no leading with the shoulder. There was just chest contact, head on head. You can't sort of help that.
Yep.
And so clearly, the sin binning didn't de-escalate any situation because you got a bloke ran out of the line to put a shot on another bloke. So I just thought it was a massive. We are over, and we'll talk about it more with a couple of other
NRL
incidents.
needs to understand that. Yep, we need to obviously remove some dangerous foul play, but it's a contact sport, and the fans and the players clearly love that component of the game, and that's why they play it, and that's why fans watch it. So the overreaction, in my opinion, is to try and remove it. Is that
okay? So let's compare the punishments as opposed to the incidents, right? So we are literally sin binning 4 players for nothing, and then you're sin binning Felice Kafusi the same amount of time for breaking a bloke's leg. Does that seem fair to you?
Furthermore, not sin binning Brian Toto in the Titans game for a head high in a try scoring opportunity.
For actual foul play. So does that seem fair to you?
No, not at all.
So then what are we doing here? Like it's becoming increasingly frustrating to watch.
Yeah, they need a complete overhaul of the officiating system because it is bad, really bad.
Well, I think a complete overhaul of
do you think
the rules.
Do you think media's playing a part here?
Oh, no doubt. Social media is all playing a part. Absolutely. There's more cameras. There's more people now interested in the game. There's more junior rugby league players. So I get the whole, we don't want to see that on a junior rugby league field. But again, I'll go back to what did they actually do wrong? Tempers are going to flare in a professional sport where you're paid to win. It's a win at all cost mentality
Mm,
in rugby league, right? Your job's on the line.
yeah.
So what did they actually do wrong? No punch was thrown. Two
Yes.
blokes squared up, bit of push and shove. Rest of the players ran
Was
in,
it
held
Jared
each
Sutton's
other.
call, or did the bunker say something?
I got no doubt that Sutton's gone 4 players and he's named them, and then the bunkers then made the decision.
Baffling.
It's just, it ruined, well, the Roosters probably go on and win well anyway, but it just ruins it. You just sit back. I don't support either team, but you just sit back and you just go, you know what? 7:30 game or 5:30 game on a Saturday arvo is now ruined
Yeah.
by 4
The only
idiotic sin
people
binnings.
cheering are the people that back the over market. That's pretty much it.
That's right. And then you pay good money to go to the game, with your family, and then you watch a spectacle that's 11 on 11 for sin binning of nothing happened.
How many
fair
points was there? 76 points or
Yeah.
something?
Fair enough if there was a punch thrown, I could get on board that, no problems at all. But there was it was nothing. It was literally
Absolutely
nothing. If that's state of origin, the ref says play on.
Now we're gonna keep going. We're gonna really keep going here. Do we
Good,
want to
because
go down?
I'm frustrated.
Do
I'm a
do we go
frustrated
down?
fan.
Do we let Dicko's ears explode and go down tackled in midair, or do we go down kick pressure and milking?
Right, let's go down all of them because I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that is just really frustrated by
Yeah. Let's talk
the
about the
rules.
tackling in midair. 2 instances on the weekend. Fortunately, one of them didn't decide the outcome of the game. One of them was a big momentum shifter, but we'll get on to the Broncos shortly. Are we not able to tackle players in midair when competing for a ball now? Like, what is the...
Well, that's the rule, yeah. So the rule's been changed.
So
You used to be able to tackle an attacking player in the air, but you're not allowed to anymore.
how embarrassing is it going to be now moving forward if that's the precedent? That if you don't catch it in midair, and let's face it, teams are literally targeting this now, right? As a result.
So we've got teams that have now developed loopholes. Yep.
Yeah, so they're targeting wingers like Nwanga Nitawaze, Xavier Coates. The Teague Wilton one was intended for Ronaldo Mulatalo, I would assume. Those players win most of the jumps in the in-goal area, and the defending player has to wait until they hit the ground. Is that what happens?
Well, that is what the NRL, and I'm going to put a watch on the NRL because we're going to talk about a few issues here. So I want to put.
Because
I
want to see it happen. I actually want to see it happen and watch how stupid it looks.
Well, we need clarification about what they're asking is exactly what you said. They're asking.
Can you imagine Xavier Coates going up for a try in midair, and Penrith, surprise, surprise, we're playing bloody the Storm this weekend. Xavier Coates goes up for a try, and Brian Toto stands there and waits till he hits the ground.
Yeah, exactly. So do we as fans, let's talk about it from a fan perspective here for a minute. Do we want to see that? Do we want to see a team that we support, our players defending like that?
I feel like if it's a try scoring opportunity, there's allowed to be mitigating circumstances to challenge a player in midair as long as the first intention is to catch the ball.
Well, I'll further that. I agree. But provided they don't put the player in a dangerous position.
Yes.
Right? So, again, we've literally just come up with the rule using common sense. So I don't understand why the NRL.
If anyone's unsure of what we're talking about, by the way, just jump on our page and have a look at the reel we posted on Teague Wilton's try, and you'll shake your head. It was given a penalty try. I'm surprised it wasn't given a sin bin.
But if we now put ourselves in players' shoes, and if we're going up to contest, we're a defender, we're going up to contest the football. We got Xavier Coates opposite us, and we're going up to contest a bomb, right? My intention is not to tackle him in midair. All I am thinking about is catching the football.
Yeah.
I have got no intention after that fact of tackling him, even if I don't. It happens so quickly. I'm trying to catch the footy. By the time I realise I don't have it, we're on the ground pretty much anyway.
Yeah.
So what? So what is
And the natural
NRL
instinct is to try and stop him from scoring a try.
So the only thing I can see happening is players going, I'm not going to contest. I'm going to let him catch it, and I'm going to stand right underneath him. And
Well,
soon as
and
he hits
we've
the ground,
actually
I'm going to
seen
tackle him.
how dumb that looks in play about 20 metres out. I mean, Zach Lomax, just watch the Eels game. How many times did they put a bomb up 20 metres out? He's left to catch the ball freely, so he's not tackled in midair. And then, yeah, fair enough, he made a few errors.
So if we
that's
get,
in the in goal.
Yeah, I know. If we get dramatic here, let's tie up Brian To'o's hands when he's defending on the wing a kick, so he can't actually. That's what the NRL are effectively asking players to do: is stick their hands behind their back. You can't contest the footy because even if it looks like you're tackling someone in midair, it's going to be a penalty try.
Mate, you know what's going to happen? It's going to turn into AFL. Players are going to be trying to punch the ball over the sideline because they know they can't catch it.
If this decides a premiership, it will be one of the great farces of all time. So this is why I'm putting a watch on the NRL for the rest of this season and for the off season when they review rules to come up and use a bit of common sense. All right. The onus, I agree, is on the tackler not putting the attacking player in a dangerous position when he is making a tackle. So why can you not contest the football and potentially tackle a player in midair, an attacking player that is, not a defending player, an attacking player in midair, as long as you don't put him in a dangerous position? Why is that not allowed?
Should be. It definitely should be. Now, same goes here for kick pressure, which we're about to move on to. This goes into a little bit of milking as well. So we're going to go down there. Kick pressure is now that...
You can't do it. You can't.
This is what I'll say. Commentating is actually that bad to hear now because the commentators whose job is to literally commentate and make comments on the game and have opinions on the game during game live, they are scared to now make comment or just literally make jokes about it. That's how bad it's got. Like they'll sit there and go, well, guys, what do you think? Oh, I'm going to stay out of it. Who knows? Like, it shouldn't be like that.
No, that's right. The rules should be clear. But we are so grey, it's not funny because we're overreacting, or the NRL are overreacting at literally everything. And I agree. We need to get out hip drop tackles. We need to get out kick pressure that attacks players' legs. But again, why can't you pressure a kicker as a defender when the onus is on you? If you don't put him in a dangerous position, why aren't you allowed to pressure him?
Well, after that happened, we had instances of players literally, sometimes kickers fall over from natural balance.
I don't want to call players out here, mate. I don't want to call players out.
No, but some players are literally grabbing the kicker to like cuddle them to stop them from falling as a bit of a piss take.
And some kickers, Jerome Hughes, Adam Reynolds, Nathan Cleary, Mitch Moses are the four probably worst ones. They feel any contact when they're kicking, they go to ground like a bag of spuds.
Yep.
And it
happened, no matter where it is or how hard
it happened in the Penrith game, and he even admitted it post-game that he dove twice.
Yeah.
All right. So again,
players are exploiting the farces of these rules.
There was no contact with his legs. There was not one bit of contact with his legs. The onus is on the defender, and I would argue that the Knights defender in this situation has pulled out, has pressured him enough, but pulled out where he didn't put him in a dangerous position. So what it's doing now, and I listened to Andrew Johns probably a week ago now. He was on TV and he was talking about it. 15 years ago, if you had a team pinned down on their line, you're able to rush up and defend and have a really good defensive set, right? Mm. And then on fifth tackle, their kicker would have to stand 10 metres behind the play the ball because he knew he was going to get pressure. Yep. Now you've got the Clearys, you've got the Moseses, you've got Matt Burtons, you've got the guys with 60-metre boots that are standing on the advantage line because they know they cannot be pressured from a defender when they're kicking
Yeah.
it. And
Well, even drop goals is worse
these
because
guys are literally putting the ball where they want. So you are taking all momentum away from a defending team by allowing this.
Mm.
And it's become a joke. It's frustrating, and it only ever I'll go off my statement from last week. It only ever seems to happen to teams that are going well, because I've seen Jaden Campbell hit midair 3 or 4 times the last 5 or 6 weeks, and nothing's happened. It's play on.
Nothing, yeah.
But as soon as I see the big guns, the Clearys, the Moses, whatever, all of a sudden Reynolds, who Hughes is the worst. He's got to be the worst I've ever seen. Yeah. It's dead set
he's
Rivaldo
shocking.
from the 2002 World Cup soccer.
And Grant's not far behind.
You know what I mean? Like, it's frustrating, like really frustrating when
Well,
I
you're
want to
now
sit
getting
down.
blatant diving and milking.
Well, you're getting diving. There's no
in every part of the game, whether
Yeah.
it be head highs, whether it be kick pressure, whether it be jumping in midair for the ball. Like,
I just want to see some. I'm sure we've spoken about this. Let's just see some common sense involved.
yeah.
And used, right? If there is no attacking of the legs, if the defender puts pressure on, makes contact, but the outcome is not anything dangerous towards the kicker, why are we penalising the defender for, oh my God, he hit him and he may have injured him?
We might have to find the clip, but I distinctly remember in the first 10 minutes of the Broncos Storm game, Harry Grant actually took a dive inside the 20, mistimed his Oscar-winning acting skills, and realized, oh shit, I'm not going to get a penalty out of this, and play on. He just looked like an absolute goose.
Mm.
But that's where it's at now. Like, we're talking about one of the hardest players in the comp. Trying to take a dive in the 20, to get a penalty, because we know how much momentum makes a difference these days.
Again,
the speed of the play, the balls, and six.
Well, I'll bring it back to we are trying to find the perfect game.
Teams are literally just trying to exploit loopholes all day, every day. Now.
Yep, pretty much.
Because the NRL have not used common sense.
And it is common sense. Again,
they should just literally go to the refs and go, you know what, guys, use the whistle as much or as little as you want. Ref the game how it looks. Use common sense. The rule books are there, but use common sense. That's it. Message is really simple.
It's just simple. For me, it's really simple in both of these instances.
Do you think there's a directive for a crackdown though, or do you think there's just like a ref decides to go, oh, you know what?
No, I think they're just overreacting. They're just the ref and the bunker. They're just overreacting because it might cause injury. Because we've seen Lockie Ilias, someone attack his legs, and I'm not condoning the attacking of the legs.
No,
right? That's got to go. But you're allowed to pressure and hit halfbacks and 5/8s if you don't hit them late and you don't put them in a dangerous position. We are now getting halfbacks running so far into the line because they have bubble wrap all over them because they can't be hit. No, seriously. And you're going to say I'm picking on Penrith here, but it's just I've done this before, and I've said this before.
They're smart.
And he's great at it. He's literally great at it, and all halfbacks should do it, right?
Yeah.
Cleary runs so far into the line, and it's almost like he presses the pause button on a remote. What he does is he stops. He knows he can't get hit from the inside, and if he does get hit, it's going to be a penalty. And he waits for that defender to commit to him, and he'll send his runner through, and then he'll play out the back, and Penrith always have a 2-on-1 situation because of that. Now, it is smart ball playing.
Well, I'll double down on that. Isaiah Yeo does it in the first phase of that play.
Correct.
He'll literally run into the line, and he knows that if he's got a passing motion, that he can't be hit. So if they don't put any pressure on, he'll dummy and go through and poke his nose through, and sometimes, even score. Or he will pass it out the back, but go so far into the line because he knows he's not going to get hit.
So there is too much of a price to pay for pressuring halfback or a Yo or a 5/8 or whoever, because if you get it wrong, it's a penalty. And penalties are, teams score off the back of penalties. It's as simple as that because it gives field position and that that's momentum. That's field position. That's the crowd then gets involved, and it's just we've gone so far away from the brutality of it, and
Yeah, defending repeat sets now is like if you get a 6 again, you're pretty much going to score.
yeah, and the common sense is just gone out of it, and I'm really frustrated just as supporting the game, like just the game in general. I'm sitting back and I'm just, yeah, I'm just shaking my head at a lot of things. I'm just not happy with where it's going, and I texted you over the weekend. I was like, the NRL's almost lost me, like honestly, because there's no common sense involved in it anymore.
Well, you can actually play 20 minutes and get a little bit of momentum for 20 minutes and be rubbish for the next 60 and still win.
Yeah.
Like that's how much momentum you can have these days.
Well, yeah, that's right. Exactly right.
But yeah, now I mean, you only have to go watch our video on Talon De Silva from the weekend. I'm sure
Mate, honestly, it's becoming. If I see another player throw his hands up appealing for a penalty, or someone staying down on one knee in the play the ball like Jai Arrow did on the weekend, holding his jaw, looking at the ref, shaking his head, almost saying, mate, mate, mate. And then for the bunker to have a look at it because he knows the bunker's going to then have a look at it. And there was a little bit of contact, minimal contact, and then the bunker blows a penalty. But then in the same situation, Jaden Campbell doesn't stay down because he's a footballer and he knows his team's trying to win, so he's trying to get up, play it quick, so they can maybe that was after a break, so they can maybe get him on numbers. He doesn't stay down, and there's no penalty because the bunker
he got hit in the head twice.
And he got hit in the head. The NRL have since come out and said it should have been a penalty. So okay, Jaden Campbell has literally cost his team the win.
Yeah, by
not staying
to
down.
The whistle.
By not staying down.
Yeah.
Now, it's happened twice to the Titans in the last two
games.
Well,
if we're not careful, we'll turn into soccer where diving and milking penalties is the difference between teams winning and losing games more often than not. And we don't want to go down that.
I personally think you need to bring a rule in for time wasting. And if these players now what it is, right? The high shot is it has to be a reportable offence to be a penalty. That is what it has to be. So if the bunker deems it not a reportable offence, it's just play on. But players like De Silva have laid on the ground for 25 seconds so the bunker can have a look at it. Now, what I think should happen is if the bunker determines there's no penalty, the referee should go time wasting, bang, penalty.
Penalty the other way.
Other way. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, that's right. And almost like a yellow card for diving.
You would then cut out the rubbish milking ones, and you would actually have the ones that are proper, the ones that actually hurt, or the ones that actually should be penalised.
Yeah, no,
should have been on report. Will then filter through.
There we go. MRC, get around it.
Well, it's a watch, mate, because I'm frustrated. It's annoying. It's becoming a bit of a joke. And if it decides a grand final, or it decides an Origin series, or whatever, or a team making, the Titans, for instance, Des Hasler's fighting for his job. They could have 2 wins. They're literally going to win the wooden spoon. Yep. You know what I mean? This is the difference. And these instances or incidents.
Well, last week as well against Penrith.
These incidences it's common sense, mate. Like, it's honest. I'm literally sitting at home talking to you, making the rule up, and I'm getting paid nothing from the NRL. I'll take $5,000 and I'll make the rule up and I'll sort it out within 10 minutes. It's not hard.
Oh dear. Now, before Dicko's blood pressure hits 250, let's get on to some more things close to Dicko's heart, the Broncos.
Oh, yes.
We haven't got there yet, but we're going there now. Look, it was 10 seconds not many rugby league fans have seen before. And to be honest, I didn't know what had happened until I was more focused on Cobbo's try saver on Xavier Coates, which is what everyone should have been focusing on and cheering about. But instead, Both Broncos halves, Mam and Reynolds, have done their hemis. One looks to be out for pretty much the season, and the other one won't be back till finals. First and foremost, Dicko,
Mm-hmm.
what is your thoughts on the Broncos' chances now that those injuries have occurred? And secondly,
Chances in like okay, go on. Yep.
chances for the comp, knowing
Okay.
that Reynolds is going to be back. I mean, now there's a little bit of pressure even for top 8, believe it
Yep.
or not.
Yep.
Uh they they've got a decent run home, but without your two starting halves for the rest of the season,
Yep.
I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are there. And what do you think is the best combination moving forward while these injuries sort of subside? Because we're hearing Billy Walters at 6,
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Ben Hunt at
Yep.
7, Corey
Yep.
Pates at 9, Moses
Yep.
out for the season as well.
Yep.
Uh, is there a backup hooker now?
Yeah. Tyson Smoothie.
Right. Okay. So we got Tyson Smoothie. That's good. So this Broncos hooker dilemma's
Yeah.
now
It's
turned into a bit of a
it's the one
savior.
time it's the one time it's been good that we've got 12 hookers on the roster.
Dear oh dear. So what do you think? Honestly, as a Broncos fan, obviously devastating to see that happen.
Well, I think
Um.
let's just look big picture. The Bronx have also got Xavier Willison, who was probably in the form of his career, out
Yep.
for probably the season. They've got Brendan Piakura, who is indefinite with a head knock.
Yep.
So they're players that were in their starting 13. All right. Then you couple your halfback, your 5'8", one of your wingers. So it's a big sort of core of your side that's gone. But injuries happen. I mean, it's a freak thing. I've heard. I've heard Adam Reynolds is injury plagued. I know you've said that to me. I wasn't happy that you said that to me over the weekend.
Mm.
I don't think it's as bad as that. I wouldn't say, considering the week before against South, he ran the same distance and he scored a try. So hamstrings. I mean, there's no doubt. 3 hamstrings calls into question what preparation was happened or had happened through the
Yeah.
week, what sort of player preparation had happened pre-game. So I dare say that'd be looked at and scrutinised from the club. I don't buy into this rubbish that NRL 360 and Buzz Rossfield's gone on about Michael Maguire training them too hard. Now it's come back to bite them. I think that's complete and utter rubbish, personally.
Yep.
Again, it's just Buzz taking another pot shot at Brisbane, which he seems to do every second week. They win, they're too cocky, they lose, they get hammered by commentators because of Madge Maguire's coaching and injury and whatever else, so they can't win.
No.
It's just easily to scrutinise a big club, right?
Commentators can't handle
Yeah. In terms
Brisbane.
of our or the Broncos' chances moving forward, I mean, you've got to remember that Adam Reynolds is out. You're moving a bloke that's played 300 plus games into halfback. He's played State of Origin in the 7. He's played for Australia. He's played for Queensland. So you're not
Handy.
very handy player. You're going to lose a pinpoint kicking game, absolutely. But from an organisational point of view and the player you're getting in there, I think it's
I tell
pretty
you what, Jock Madden's a bit unlucky not to
pretty comparable. I just think he's short of a Gallop.
have a dip.
Um,
Yeah, true. At NRL level, anyway.
Short of a Gallop, yeah. He's coming off a long layoff. I think Billy Walters is the logical decision right for this week, would be my summation of that. I would resist at all costs of moving Katoni Staggs at 5'8". I think that was just a byproduct of what was available during the game. He had to play 5'8" on the weekend. I would resist that. I would also, depending on how they go this week, I would look at maybe a Jock Madden to play 6 and keep Billy, because he's been playing so well in that 14 role, coming on and really impacting games.
Well, they need a bit of punch off the bench, because all of a sudden they're gonna maybe lose a bit of that spark.
Yeah, his impact will be lost, that's for sure. So again, I think it's the logical decision this week to just, because it's a relatively short turnaround. Let's just do what we have to do this week. Maybe then, depending on how this game goes, we'll look at potentially shifting things around. Corey Pake's also had a good start to the season in the 9. I don't have an issue with that. I expect them. They've got the Dolphins, they've got the Knights, they've got the Cowboys, the Storm. I would expect them to win 2 of 4, even with those players out. So 2 of 4 will get them in the 8, I think, because results have helped. Manly have fallen off. The
which
Warriors
two,
are going
out of
south.
curiosity?
Which 2?
Yeah, which 2 games? I'm interested to hear this one.
Oh, I think they beat Newcastle, and I think they beat the Cowboys,
Yeah,
and I give them a really good chance this weekend against the Dolphins as well.
Yep, agreed.
I don't think they can beat Melbourne at home without. Although, what I will say, and you can put your house on it here, listeners, is that if Brisbane need to win round 27 against the Storm, you can be guaranteed that Adam Reynolds leads the team out, regardless of where his hamstring's at.
I did hear as well that Jerome Hughes is going to play round 20.
Wouldn't surprise me either. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Mind you, if they don't need to win and they've got top 2 sewn up, maybe not.
The Storm generally bring the big guns back against the Broncos, like every team, so that wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm not really concerned about that.
Yeah.
Brisbane shouldn't leave it to the last game to wrap up a position in the 8. Now, further, can the Broncos win the competition without Reynolds, man? Well, we saw Ezra Mam in the 23 grand final. Lit it up for 60 minutes. I don't know. It'll depend on how they react, how they play in the last 4 rounds. If they play well. What was really pleasing on the weekend, and again, we've spoken about this and you agreed with me, this narrative where they aren't happy to get into the grind and this rubbish from commentators. Yeah. On the weekend, the Storm should have put 40 on Brisbane. I mean, you had a centre playing 5'8", you had your 2 halves gone. And I thought Brisbane had a red-hot dip. Yeah, they got convincingly beaten. They bombed 2 tries, though, Broncos early.
Yeah.
Walsh forward pass. Mariner also double movement at the end.
Don't forget the actual injury was caused from an intercept where they looked like they were going to score.
Well, they would have scored, and it's a game of millimetres, right? So, so I don't think it's all doom and gloom.
No.
They've still got, a good squad. They always had a good squad. I never thought Adam Reynolds would play a whole season. I always thought Hunt would play 7 at some point, and it just so happens that it's now. And again, teams, what we've seen from the last premiers, Penrith, Storm, is that you face a bit of adversity at some point during the season.
You have to go through these periods.
You've got to get through it. And then it makes you better in the long run. So if they can get through these last 4 rounds, get themselves into the 8, because at the moment, right now, I can't sit here categorically and tell you who I think is going to win the competition.
Yeah.
It is that open, it's not funny.
We're going to dive into the previews very shortly for this week's game, but the Broncos and the Dolphins game is arguably one of the biggest games of the weekend, because the Dolphins are only 2 points behind Broncos with a better point differential.
Yep.
So if somehow the Dolphins win this game, it's geez.
Yeah, no, the Dolphins have got Canberra last round. So yeah, I don't know. I think they've got a tough run.
It's going to be interesting. They play Titans and they play Manly, who are very, very hit and miss. But yeah, you're right. Like Herbie Farnworth missing is just crazy an impact of a centre can have on a team.
Yeah.
And I don't read too much into the Chooks Dolphins game. I think this weekend is huge for the Dolphins. Like if Brisbane come out without their stars and convincingly beat the Dolphins, I think you can write them off almost.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But if Dolphins give a good account for themselves and win the game or get close, then yeah, geez, with their point differential, point differential's bigger than it ever was going to be. I mean, that Chooks result against the Dolphins really swung a bit of momentum there in terms of point difference. Because now the Chooks are only sort of 30, 40 points behind them.
See, if I'm looking at the ladder now as we're talking, you can pretty much put a line through the Dragons. They're going to cause some upsets though going in, because I think they're playing better than where they are in 11th. Yes. But you can, they would have to play they could only get to 28 and they would have to play perfect footy and win every game, which is not going to happen, and then rely on teams then to drop games.
And the Seagulls' points differences.
Well, so is the Dragons. The points difference
Horrendous.
is a joke too. So, yeah, I mean, I think you can rule out the Dragons and the Seagulls. The Roosters are the ones that could sneak into the 8. I really think the top 7 are set, and it's really just 8.
Yep.
Who finishes 8? As in, I think the top 7 teams.
Well, the Sharks also have a bye.
Yeah, so I think the top 7 teams will finish in the 8. It's just it's just who will finish 8.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Okay.
Well, let's get stuck into the preview, Dicko. Let's and it starts with none other than the Panthers versus Storm at CommBank Stadium. It is going to be a massive game. For the context of minor premiership and top 4 aspirations for Penrith. As a Penrith fan, obviously, I'm going to tip Penrith, but am I doing it with any form of confidence? No. How do you feel about this game? Sorry, guys, just had a bit of technical difficulty there, but we're back on track now. Dicko, Panthers Storm, who you locking in, mate? It's a tough one.
Yeah, it is a tough one. Where is this? This is at
our home ground, CommBank Stadium.
CommBank Stadium, is it? Okay.
In the heart of our opposition.
Oh, this is a tough one. Jerome Hughes is out. Penrith are coming off, what are they, 9 in a row now?
Yep.
I don't know. I reckon this could go down to the wire, eh? I'd have to see. I mean, again, we're recording before the team list, so I want to see.
Isaiah Yo's still 50-50.
I think I've always said Penrith are going to lose a game at some point before the end of the season, before their season finishes. All right? Now, we've just got to pick which game that is.
Well, it's got bloody Storm, Raiders, Dogs.
If this was in Melbourne, I would be tipping the Storm purely on that.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams have been, I would say, I know Penrith, there's been a couple of moments the last 2 weeks, like a 10, 20-minute period where I don't think the Panthers have been great. Like they let Newcastle back into it, score a few tries. Against the Titans, they were very poor in the second half. Although be it, they were still dominant in both games. And the Storm have won without sort of setting the world on fire, if you know sort of what I mean. They've just done what they've had to do. So it's really difficult to sort of get a gauge on it. I feel like whoever wins this game should be put as premiership favourites for sure. And if I'd have had to pick one right now, it's purely just on the home ground. I'll pick the Panthers.
Mm-hmm. All right, lock in the Panthers. Now, Warriors versus the Dragons. This is in Auckland at Go Media Stadium. Warriors are coming off a bit of a rough trot in recent times where they've fallen out of the top 4. They've lost the last 3 games. Can you see them beating the Dragons, who are on a bit of a high at the moment? The Dragons. I think they've strung 2 wins in a row together. And to be honest, probably the last 5 or 6 games, they've been pretty good. So, they've beaten the Raiders, beaten the Sharks. And you feel, I wouldn't even call it an upset, but which way are you swaying?
I mean, if you're tipping on form, you're tipping the Dragons. Because Dragons have been quite good, but you find it very difficult as a tipper to tip against the Warriors at home.
No pressure, but this could cost you a tipping comp.
This could cost, yeah, exactly. And Tamare Martin will be out.
Yes. And I've heard this may not actually happen, but there is rumours swirling that Nathan Cleary's younger brother, Jet Cleary.
Bit of Jet Cleary.
Might play in the halves ahead of Tanner Boyd. I can't see them doing that, but there's definitely been a few rumours floating around about it.
I'm going to tip the Warriors. I'm going to go the safe tip. I'm going to tip the Warriors in this. again, purely on home ground advantage. They don't lose a lot of games at home. They need a win. They're probably more desperate than the Dragons because they do need to win the Warriors.
Yeah.
I think if they lose, they're gone. I think honestly they could slip out of the 8.
Yeah, if they lose, they're in serious strife.
Yep.
Like 4 games on the trot. I mean, they do play the Titans after that, but it's on the Gold Coast. So,
Yep.
and Parramatta are no easy beats, and they finish the season with the Seagulls. Yeah, this is a big game for the Warriors. And I know a lot of their fans aren't real confident, and
Yeah.
rightly so.
No, so I'll lock in the Warriors again. Purely, they don't lose a lot of games at home.
Oh, jeez. I had selected the Warriors, but I know I need to go a few upsets to bring myself back into contention. My head says to go with the Warriors, but my tipping comp brain is telling me to go with the Dragons as an upset. So, but is it an upset? Like Dicko said, if you're going on form, Dragons are the favourites to take this one out. Look, lock in the Warriors. Lock in the Warriors because the viewers
He'll
and
change it.
listeners want to
He'll
know.
change it. He'll change it game
And
day,
I'll
people.
change it game day to the Dragons. But for the listeners out there who I think is actually going to win the game, it's the Warriors. The Warriors should win this, and you're right, Dicko. They're more desperate.
Yeah.
Now, Roosters versus the Dogs. This is a cracker. All the games this weekend, in my opinion, are great games, including the one after this one. Roosters coming off a thumping victory. Same with the Bulldogs. Do the Roosters have enough firepower to beat the Dogs, Dicko?
Yes. Yes.
Are you tipping the Roosters?
Well, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Roosters.
I want a straight answer. I want a straight answer. None of this beating around the bush.
So this is at now. You're the Sydney man here. So this is at Allianz. So
Yep.
will Bulldogs fans travel to this game?
Yeah, I think you'll see more Bulldogs fans than Roosters fans. Roosters don't travel anywhere, even to their local ground. But when the Chooks are going well, they tend to get on the back of it.
I'm gonna do it. I just think they're in ominous form, the Roosters. I'm gonna tip the Roosters here to beat the Dogs.
I'm going to double down.
And again, that's purely based on they are desperate. They've got to win this game. Like they need to win. They need a big scalp on their way into the finals to get them probably because it's not a game probably they should win. If they win this, they almost guarantee themselves eight.
Well, we're hearing Reid Marnie might not make the 17.
Yes,
as well. Which
I can't believe.
I'm going to make a comment.
I can't believe what the Bulldogs have done.
I understand that he's leaving the club, and I understand they believe the future is Bailey Hayward. But I'm sorry. If they want to win a comp, Reid Marnie has to be your number 9. And I'll go as far as to say that if he's not the number 9, they don't win. That's how far I'll go.
Yeah. Well, he's led. I just don't understand some of the decisions.
How they think they're a better side with Bailey Hayward. I mean, yeah, they beat the Warriors on the weekend and Marnie didn't play that much. But I just thought the Warriors were bang average.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I don't think the Bulldogs were good. And it certainly wasn't down to Bailey Hayward. In fact, I think he almost was probably the worst player in the team. Not having a dig here at Bailey Hayward. He's going to be a good player in the future. But to drop Reid Marnie is that could literally cost him a premiership.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Lock in the Chooks, mate. Let's do it. Now, Sharkies versus the Titans. The Titans are not going how the odds suggest here. And the Sharks certainly aren't going how the odds suggest. The Sharks are actually a joke. I would say that they are. And I listened to another comment during the week from a credible source about the Sharks. And they are getting worse every year. They promise the world and deliver the Atlas constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a chance of winning the premiership?
No.
Okay. Can they beat the Titans?
Yes.
Can the Titans beat the Sharks?
I don't think in Cronulla.
Yeah. Now the Titans have 3 injuries too, by the way.
Yeah.
They've got head knock to Brian Kelly, I believe. Alofi Khan Pereira's done his hamstring.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember the other player, but there's another player out for them. I think Philip Sami is returning. But yeah, they're walking a bit wounded. I'll be interested to see if Tino plays, because he's due back next week. But oftentimes we see with the MCL, now that the Titans are desperate to avoid the wooden spoon, will they bring him back a week early?
Risk versus reward. I don't know. Like, I'd be tempted not to. But it wouldn't surprise me if they do, and it's heavily strapped. But even with Tino, I don't think they win.
No, lock in the Sharks. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Look, I think the Titans will give a good account for themselves. They'll try hard, but
I think it'll be closer than what people might expect. Definitely closer than the odds suggest.
mate, if the Sharks lose this, they're a joke. They're actually a joke.
Well, I don't think they can win the comp. They don't have the roster to win the comp. It's funny how like everything's said about the Broncos and how they're not resilient and don't want to get into the grind. Has no one watched the Sharks in the last 3 years?
We said that, and then they came out and beat the Storm and showed a bit of grit, and you're like, hang on a minute. And then they lost to, I don't know.
Mate, they got a soft. They got the underbelly is butter. I'm telling you, when it gets a bit hot, it melts.
And they got to buy next week.
Yeah, that'll be right. Yeah.
They need that. Now the blockbuster, Broncos Dolphins.
Mate, the game of the round is Thursday night. Who are you kidding?
Look, it is. You're right. And silly me, I'm going to Melbourne. I'd time that well, aren't I?
This is the Battle of Brisbane, mate.
What a goose. Now this is the Battle of Brisbane. What are you thinking?
I will tip Brisbane.
I think Brisbane win.
I think although teams generally coming off a massive loss play well the following week.
We thought this last year, and Dolphins smoked them.
Yeah, put them to the sword. But
surely,
I think it's a different Broncos team. I really think this galvanizes them.
This is my concern, is that Ben Hunt and Billy Walters play too passive, and that their kicking game obviously isn't as strong as Reynolds, and Isaiah Katoa's kicking game is unreal. But
playing passive may win them this game.
But will it cause Reece Walsh to overplay his hand? That's my concern.
I mean, it may, but I feel like there's enough.
I feel like they need him to do it, though.
There's enough X factor in there to, yeah. So I think if Brisbane go out there expecting this to be a grind and you're not going to win it until the last 10 minutes, they win.
If you're a super coach player, you're captaining Reece Walsh in this game.
Well, if the Bronx go in thinking that they're just going to, play ad-lib footy and score points, I think they've lost the game before they even play.
Yeah. I think they'll adopt the same approach as they did against the Rabbitohs and against the Storm. I think they've turned a corner there.
Be prepared to win it late is what I think.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
But I will tip them at home. This is a home game for them. Oh, both teams home ground, but I will tip the Broncos, but with not a huge amount of confidence.
Rabbitohs versus Eels. Now, this is an interesting one. It's at Allianz as well. I find it funny how the Rabbitohs have kicked up a storm here about playing at a core stadium.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden they are playing at Allianz for their home game. Now, I don't know if this was rostered in already, but or whether there's a concert on at a core or something like that. It is a Saturday night, so I'd say that's probably the reason. Geez, this is a tough one to pick. Because I was really impressed. Isn't South just a different beast with Latrell Mitchell?
Oh, absolutely. But I really think Parramatta are going to be a bit of a force next year. I like the way they're coached. I like the way they're playing. And they're doing it without Iongi, who was probably in line to win Rookie of the Year, I reckon.
Well, I was really disappointed in Parramatta last week. Yeah, they beat the Cowboys, but geez, they tried to find a way to lose it.
But they are going to have inconsistent performances
They
with
are.
where they're at. So I think their best is going to be good, but they're going to have those inconsistent gains. But I think they win this. I think Moses leads them. They're just a completely different team.
What they're not going to have in this game is a team that's going to give up. The Rabbitohs will keep coming. So they're going to have to win this on talent.
Yeah, that's right. They don't give up. That's for sure.
And Rabbitohs are busted. But
yeah. And Alex Johnson is close.
Yeah,
real close.
Tries.
Three tries away. So, or 4 tries to break it, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 tries to break it.
So yeah, I think it would be a good game, but I think Parramatta win this.
Oh, I'm going to lock in the Bunnies.
He's locking in the Bunnies.
I'm going to lock in the Bunnies. Not because of tipping comps or anything like that. I actually genuinely think the Bunnies can get this done. I think that Mr. Wayne Bennett may outcoach Jason Riles this weekend. But we'll soon find out.
Yeah, not a bad shout.
Watch this space. Now, Tigers versus the Seagulls. Oh, now this is at Allianz as well. What is going on here?
So Tom Trbojevic will play fullback again, they've said, and Lehigh Hopoate comes back onto the wing.
Yes. Tigers were impressive before they went on the bye against the Dogs.
I'm tipping the Tigers. I'm going to tip the Tigers in this.
I'm tipping the Tigers too.
But I think it'll be close. I think it'll be real close.
This is one of those games where the Seagulls could come out and win 36-6.
You can't trust the Seagulls.
You can't.
You can't trust them.
Last week against Canberra, they started I reckon their game plan's garbage. I'm going to call Seabold out on this. Their game plan is garbage. They are so predictable. It's spread it wide on the second or third tackle, sometimes the first, and hope for a bit of individual brilliance. Like, there's no set plays. Cherry Evans is not in the right mind. Like, his brain is not.
Well, if he'd make a decision or announce his decision, maybe he would be in the right mindset, for God's sake.
He's been very poor. Very poor. In fact, Luke Brooks has been better than Daly Cherry Evans. And controlling the game, I would say, more than Cherry Evans.
Yep.
It's almost like he's lost Olakau'atu as well, so his security guard's gone.
Yeah.
Defensively, he is terrible.
He's a speed bump at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, lock in the Tigers.
Yeah, I agree.
Lock in the Tigers with a bit of confidence.
Yep.
Now, Cowboys versus the Knights. Oh, jeez.
Can't wait for this game.
Here we go.
Cannot wait for this.
This is going to be the battle of which coach gets sacked first, by the sounds of it. Now, don't count these two teams out from the spoon, just quietly.
Absolutely.
They're in grave danger of the spoon because the Rabbitohs still have a bye.
It's a spoon bowl.
Rabbitohs have still got 2 points up their sleeve, so they'll leapfrog them naturally. They play each other, so one team's got to lose. Or could there be a draw? You never know. I can actually see this going to Golden Point, Dicko.
I think the Cowboys win this.
It is, yeah, it is up there.
It is up there. North Queensland, different beast. I think the Cowboys.
I changed my mind. You sold me already.
I think the Cowboys win this just. Yeah. I think Dearden and Drinkwater have enough creativity in them to beat the Knights, who have no one.
Their creativity is non-existent.
Non-existent. So yeah, I got the Cowboys.
Yep, lock them in. All right, Dicko.
Thanks, mate.
Have a good one. Enjoy.
Yeah,